What's up, guys? Welcome to another M-rated episode here with Bark and Manny. And happy Friday. We hope everybody had a good week and even a better weekend. Get ready for lockdown,
Oh
a
man,
possible lockdown, but we are in curfew hours starting today. So
is it today? We're sure it's today.
it's today. Yeah,
okay.
definitely. Friday
Okay.
here in California. So you live in California from 10 to 5, can be out. So plan ahead, get everything ready, do all your shopping, do groceries, even
Toilet
December.
paper.
Toilet paper.
Toilet
Yeah.
paper.
But anyways, let's get us ready. We have a very special guest today. Yep, a very special guest. Entrepreneur, career consultant, and our very good friend, Natalia Gutierrez. Welcome to the
Welcome,
M-Rated
welcome,
Podcast.
Hey, thank you. Thank you all for having me here. I'm really excited. By the way, this is my first podcast. I've
Oh,
never done one.
okay.
So
Oh, never. Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
hey,
First-
it's the first one. Well, it's the best one here. Right?
exactly.
Your first podcast. You are our first guest.
Yeah, it is.
We're happy to have you here.
Definitely.
You know,
Yeah.
we're happy to share this experience with you. You saw this whole setup process.
Yeah,
right now.
it's
You
exciting.
saw
I was
it.
like in awe. You didn't all see me. I was just like,
Yeah,
that.
Natalia was just standing there, like,
I was trying to take
just
it
in the
all
corner.
in.
Yeah, you were in the corner,
Okay,
just
I
sitting
was
there.
like, oh, you didn't even plug this in. Okay, whatever.
Hey, but you did help.
Yeah,
you did help,
I
honestly,
did.
and you came early.
Yeah,
Which
hey,
you were on
exactly.
point. Somebody wasn't on
I
point.
was punctual.
Like,
Yeah, I don't want to
names.
mention any names.
But yeah,
But the same one.
yeah. But yeah, welcome, Natalia. I hope you're having a good time,
Yeah.
and I hope you're about to have a better time now.
Yeah.
So let us know if you need anything, and let's get started, man. So
yeah,
tell
I
us.
mean, this is kind of exciting because I mean, the more news we get on COVID and the more thing we go into like lockdown,
Definitely.
there's like a threat of lockdown happening.
Yeah.
So there's more and more businesses that are gonna start shutting down. They're gonna start closing the doors.
Yeah.
Employees are gonna start being laid off.
More.
I mean, we're almost a year into this shit already.
Yeah, it's the 1 year anniversary from when it's in
Oh,
China.
that's
yeah, we hit it
true.
like a couple days ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's true.
yeah. Because here
Wow.
in the U.S. it hit in February.
Yeah.
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 Because late March is when everything was shut down.
Yeah, dude, that was announced on my birthday. Okay.
What?
The World Health Organization. I was like, what a birthday! What a beautiful gift.
That's something to stay proud. Stay proud of that. Yeah, for sure.
So
But-
as more businesses start closing their doors, closing early is gonna affect these businesses.
Or
Oh,
at
definitely.
capacity, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe
The
it's
capacity.
going from 50 to like 25. Also,
Just the
affects
curfew
them.
itself. I mean, there's a lot of like businesses that are open late now. They gotta close by a certain time.
Yeah.
It's only pickup or delivery services that are gonna be available to to do the whole process. So it's gonna be a little tough.
Yeah. So I mean, we're hoping a stimulus package is put together and passed, so that
We don't want a skinny bill. We don't want the heroes bill anymore. Create a new bill that could help, society, could help the people out there. We need a new
Yeah.
bill. People are going to be suffering if we don't get it,
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully they pass something that'll
Unemployment.
extend the unemployment
Extend it
benefits,
for
bring
sure.
those. Maybe not the 600 because people were sitting at home, dog, chilling.
yeah. They were getting that. They were getting paid and still, doing whatever they want.
And doing whatever they want,
some of us
which
were
is not a
working.
bad thing.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But if that doesn't happen, there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna be looking for new jobs. A lot of people that are gonna be looking for new ways to make money. Maybe start a new career. Transition from one job to another. Maybe that job is gonna have completely new
Yeah.
skill sets that you need to bring into
Definitely.
with you. And that's why we wanted to have you on here because you're kind of a specialist on this, right?
Yes. And even adapting to working remotely. So even prior to the pandemic, I was working from home for 2 years already. So I kind of had adjusted to it. And there is like a bit of a transition period as some of my friends and coworkers, they struggled maybe the first few months because you're at home all day, and so how do you balance out? But I think with the difference now is that at least in my case, I used to go out after work, right? Like I made sure to have that social engagement, but really obviously we're in the pandemic, so you're not really doing that. So that's
Right.
the different aspect. But it's really important though, y'all, like for if you're working from home, try to set aside a space in your home, even to have your desk. So you know that like you're in a different type of mindset and whatnot when you're there. So yeah.
Okay. So give us a little bit of background about who
Yeah,
you are,
tell us.
who Natalia
Who
Gutierrez
are
is.
you, dog?
Real,
Like,
man.
who are you?
Yes, I am visionary catalyst. Hey, yeah. So I'm the founder of Visionary Catalyst, which is career development consultation focusing on interview reviews, LinkedIn optimization, interview preparation, and much more. So I just started it back in June. So it's still getting off the floor, gaining some traction.
But I've seen the progress. The progress is pretty
Yeah, even
impressive.
in the last couple of weeks,
Yeah.
y'all, if you're starting a business or you're thinking about it, it does take time. But if you do put the energy and time, it will pick up. Yeah. So I had a couple new clients just in the last week from different platforms. So one from LinkedIn and then another one from another network. So that was exciting.
So sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt
yeah,
you there. LinkedIn is probably a website that a lot of people don't know. So can
Yeah,
you
yeah.
fill us in
Before
with
we
that
get
with
to
LinkedIn?
before we get too
What
ahead
is
of ourselves,
LinkedIn? Because
what
a lot of
the
us don't know.
fuck is LinkedIn?
Yo, okay, yes.
Is that like Facebook?
Yeah, it's starting. Yeah, it's like more for your professional profile on there. So if y'all don't have a profile yet, I highly suggest it. Like I feel like I can't remember the statistics exactly, but I think like every 2 seconds there's a new connection being made. Like it is taking off. And so basically it's your professional profile on there. You give a little summary and talk about your work experience and whatnot. And then you can just post and it gives employers an idea of your work experience, but also showcase your personality a little bit. And I think I gained some interest from some employers when they did go look because like my background photo, we don't have it here, but it's like actually my vision board from a couple years ago. And so you kind of get a sense of Natalia, who she is. Like I think I have something like
The
changing
vibe.
the game, like, so yes, this is me, my professional, but here's a little bit of my personality. And then they can see like your thoughts on, certain topics going on in the industry. So yeah, it's a really good tool that if you're not on it, definitely get on it. It makes job searching easily as well. A couple of the jobs that I applied to recently, actually, because I'm also looking for other opportunities at the same time, were through LinkedIn. So it's like your one-stop shop for everything related kind of to job searching and just finding out what's going on.
And what kind of information goes on there? Like what do you put?
Yeah, so you just in your about section, like a brief summary of yourself. What do you bring? Like, what's your skill set? Then your work experience, and that's pretty much the highlights of it. And then just kind of like you can also put features though. So like, let's say you were published in an article or even a YouTube video. Like I have my YouTube link actually in my featured in my profile. Yeah, so you can highlight stuff like that in there. Yeah, and I feel like they're coming out with new things for it all the time. Like they just did a little facelift to it like a week ago.
Well, they've been around for a while.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh okay.
For a
Yeah.
while.
When we go into my like other stuff
a while.
background, I'm gonna tell you all a little funny story because yeah, it's been around for a long time actually. Probably almost maybe 10 years. I don't know, something like that.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, don't quote me on that, but it's definitely been around.
So is it just like things you would say during an interview? Like that's the information.
It's just
you
to give
put
them
on
like
there?
a sneak peek, or you could even put your resume on
like a
there
resume?
too. Yeah, you put your work experience, volunteer experience. If you're open to like being a mentor, open for a coffee chat, you connect with other people in your industry, outside of your industry. Actually, I feel like now since we are working from home, that's how a lot of people are connecting with others. Yeah, through there. Yeah. So.
Nice. So, what kind of experiences have you had while using this LinkedIn application?
Yeah. So actually, the first time that I was like maybe 5 years ago. So at that time, the company where I was at, they were going through like a reorg. So some people were maybe going to get laid off, as they restructured the company.
Or idiots like me out there
No,
Like
no,
you just said something. What?
no.
They were what? A
No,
company
no,
was
no.
going through a what?
They do, they lay off people and whatnot. So I was like, oh snap, like
So only certain people stay in the company. It all
yeah.
depends on their skills.
Yeah, no. It depends, like what is the vision for the company or the function, or maybe there's like a certain function that's no longer relevant or necessary, and like there's a lot that takes into consideration. But yeah, so by the way, I should just give you all a little more background. So I worked basically in sales for like almost a decade in corporate America. That's basically what my background is in. So I want to say maybe 5 years ago, though, that's when they were doing a restructure. And I was like, oh, I might be out of a job. I was like, I better get on this thing called LinkedIn, because all my coworkers, they would always talk about it. But I was like, yeah, whatever, because at that time I was like ride or die for my company. Like I thought I was like going to retire there. Like I was like, I really enjoyed my time there, and I learned a lot. So I was like, okay. And then I was like, no, I better like check this LinkedIn out. So yeah, I signed up. I started messing with it. I remember I was at my best friend's house and like talking to her and her husband had it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to send you a request. Okay. Can you see, like, oh, here's another thing, y'all. Okay. If you don't want people knowing that you're seeing their profile, go to your settings and like make it private or whatnot. Yeah. Cause
Wait.
It's always the
That's
privacy
fucking
settings, right?
Wait a minute. What do you mean you don't want people looking? So you could see who sees your profile?
Correct. Yeah, that is an option. There's multiple options on there. But yeah, so that's the kind of thing I was like testing out. Like, oh, okay, you see who gets to see your profile. I was like clicking and requesting a bunch of my coworkers and colleagues, right? Because I literally was starting from zero. And then yeah, I started that, but and I didn't lose my job. I didn't get laid off. But that was a reality check though for me, kind of like, okay, I need to be on this tool. So I kept learning as I went. I would post occasionally and whatnot, things related that I would see. But then a couple years, what are we, 2020? So almost like, yeah, 2 to 3 years ago, I was still at the same company, but they relocated. So they went from being here in California to Arlington, Virginia.
Wow. It's
Yeah, from one coast to another. So then I was like, oh, well, I thought I was going to relocate. I said I was going to relocate. I got promoted. And then when I went to take the trip out there, I realized like it wasn't for me and a whole bunch of other things. And so then I declined the offer to go. So I knew that I was no longer going to have a job there anymore, like because I chose not to go. So anyways, I was like, okay, I need to start, getting ready. For like 8 or 9 months though, I knew like I was not going to go there anymore. And that's kind of what from the first time for the restructure to that time also is kind of when I started realizing, okay, I need to, be working on my resume, on LinkedIn, staying up to date. They also had offered like some courses there to kind of help us like with the transition, like on interviewing and your resume and negotiating and whatnot. And then at that point, I had applied for like 10 jobs, and I was trying to also make a career shift. So, and I actually talk about that in one of my YouTube videos of like when you're trying to make a career shift or change, what are some of the things that you need to think about or, look at maybe before actually like diving into it. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to do that at that time, but then I didn't even get a call back. I was like, oh. I was like, okay, maybe not. And in the end, like a few weeks before, they ended up offering me a position where I could work from home. And so that was the role that I was doing up until like 6 months ago. Yeah.
So you've been working from home for a while now.
Yeah. I started working from home in 2018 up until May.
And that gave you that opportunity to start up a business because you have so much time right after work because you were literally at home, right?
Well, I think I started maybe like either earlier this year or late last year. And the way that so yes, I had the idea in my head, and the way that I was working towards it was I was networking and going to a lot of like events. Yeah. Like in the evenings.
It's very important, right?
Yeah.
To create new ideas is like put yourself out there in these events because they have so much ideas for you to just, grab from? Put it in your notebook. Write it down
Yeah, yeah, yes, exactly.
right.
Yeah. So like General Assembly, I don't know if you all heard of them. I only heard of them for like this year, but I think they offer like if you wanted to go into coding, you could take classes there,
Y-
and other things.
You did coding?
I did not take classes in coding. I did a coding meetup, so that was another. Listen,
Oh,
Natalia
hey,
always like she could just go.
that's a startup for coding.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
is. That is. Yeah.
that's the future.
I
So
know, yeah.
you had an
Yeah,
opportunity
I
and
was
you took it.
dabbling in it. I was dabbling in it through a meetup, but generally assembly, I didn't take courses, but they hold a lot of events. Even till now, they still hold a lot of events online, webinars, on different things, presentations, on and hearing about entrepreneurs. So, anyways, I would hear a lot of people there, and I would say like, yeah, again, if you're looking to start your own business and whatnot, surround yourself with on other entrepreneurs because they're gonna know what it's like because it can get lonely sometimes. Like sometimes you need to know like some validation or hear some feedback, and who better than other entrepreneurs, right, that are going through the same thing as you are or who already have done it maybe. Um, but yeah, so I was networking, I was meeting with other entrepreneurs and then kind of grew from there. And I had a little book that I bought that kind of guides you, like questions that it'll ask you when you're contemplating starting your own business. And then just like around April, May, they were restructuring my team. My role had also changed. And I just felt like, okay, now is the time to do it. Like now is the time to go and just venture off.
Yeah, and I think that journey has been really good for you, right? It's opened up a lot of doors. It seems like your mindset is a little bit better. I mean, I've known you for a while, and
Yeah.
now that we kind of talked again, it seems like you're in a better place now. And due to the fact that you are opening this business, you're helping people. You're finding a way to just better yourself each and every day.
Yeah, yeah. So I want to say in the last 6 months, I definitely took time for myself, and it was much needed. Yeah, because my career was my life. Like it did. It was like a big part of my life. I'm very career driven and whatnot. But the problem was I didn't know how to balance it with my personal life.
Oh, okay.
And so I think I reached probably a burnout point maybe a few years before. So working from home did help. Like, yeah, I felt like I kind of got my personal life back more and had a life outside of my job. But I don't think I realized that I really need time for myself because I think I had some habits that weren't good for me. And so I really needed to take time to reflect and yeah, and be in a better state mentally and emotionally. And I feel like the shift really happened just only a few weeks ago. I mean, I was already working on the business, but I feel like my energy and my creativity
Off the roof.
was kind of no, it was blocked up until
Okay.
that point, and then I just felt the shift. But yeah, the 6 months definitely helped, and then I figured out like where am I now? I'm not the same Natalia I was 6 months ago, 5 years ago. Like we evolve as people, and so you do need to check in with yourself and see like where am I now and where do I want to go, right? Because
It's a big question. I think a lot of us are having this year.
Yeah, and that kind of brings me to what I wanted to ask you because
yeah,
so you've been working from home for a while.
yeah,
You had time to adjust to it. You had time to figure out what works
Yeah.
for you, what doesn't work for you. But there's people out here that are still trying to figure that
yeah.
out. I've been working on my job from home since early March. You haven't had the chance to work from home because your
Nope.
job,
It's pretty
your
physical.
job.
It's
You
pretty
haven't had that
physical.
chance, but a lot of us are working from home, and I know at least personally, sometimes it could. I know you're not going into an office. I know you're not going
Right.
traveling or doing nothing, but it could be so tiring to just always be home. Like you're always
Yeah.
in the same environment. You're always
Yes.
seeing the same thing. So what do you think? I know you said that during the last 6 months was when you made your biggest change, but what do you think is like something everyone right now working from home should do to just calm themselves down a little bit because there's a lot of anxiety right now. There's a lot of people suffering through depression because they're not socializing, they're not
Yes.
going out, they're not doing
Yes.
anything. So what do you like is there any advice you could give people that are still getting adjusted to working from home?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, I think we're all different. So, I'll name a few different things, and you figure out what kind of works for you. And even sometimes I'll have to go through my list and then be like, okay, no, that's not doing it for me. That's not doing it.
Yeah.
But I've joined a lot of different types of groups. So I do language exchange groups and some other groups online. And so that kind of gives me like a social aspect, right? Yes, you're not in person, but you're taking your mind off of work. You're learning something, or maybe just there's mental groups out there too, like just to help if you're going through, yeah, let's say you are going through a depression, there's groups out there for that as well. I take a lot of breaks, so I have to take a lot of breaks because if not, I'll get overwhelmed or too tired. So I'll go outside. Make sure you go outside. And so like get some sunlight as well. Like my therapist, like she told me, like you have to sit at least outside for like
Some exercise, please.
That's what I was just gonna say. I know that's a
I
big
love
thing
it.
for you. I know that's a big thing for you. Like go outside, be outside for a
okay,
bit.
well,
Be
somebody
extremely
has
active.
5 planets in Capricorn, so
Whatever that means.
Whatever. Yeah, we'll get
Whatever
into
that
astrology in just a bit, but yeah, I think a lot of people do. Well, I mean, spending a lot of time at home, it affects
Yeah.
you in so
Yeah.
many ways, especially mentally and of course physically.
yeah.
But never forget that having that physical, like say you brought it last time, physical touch, or with nature, with just other human
Yes.
Just being
beings.
in nature.
It's
Sitting in the
extremely
park
important.
and then like
People
walking
watch,
around the campus.
know?
Yeah.
And-
Even 30 to 40 minutes, it makes a big difference.
And
in your day.
exactly, that's what I was gonna bring up. It's the perfect excuse because before, when you're at work, you have 15-minute break, 30-minute break. Let's say you have
Yeah.
an hour break, but you're in a room still.
And you're in
You're
your phone.
going from one room to another room, or you're just going somewhere to sit down. But now you're home. You have the chance to like step outside for a bit.
Yes.
Go for a fucking walk down the block or something.
Yeah.
Get your body moving. But did you have to go through any of that? Like, did you have to like?
So yeah, like I said, it took me about 3 months before I adjusted. I almost like threw in the towel when I was, no, that was probably because it was a new role, a new team, a new boss. So that's more of that. But it was weird because I was used to going into the kitchen and having a coffee break and chatting it up, chismeando with my coworkers.
How many coffees do you have a day? Not a week, a day. How many coffees? Tell everybody how many coffees a day do you have?
I try to keep it to 2, but not gonna lie, I had 3 today. Yeah.
Damn.
Espressos though. I don't not like just like the ground coffee, like espressos. Either the lungo or the other one, the small. I do like 2 lungos, I believe, and then a smaller one. I don't know what it's called, but yeah. I do. Yeah, Mark knows that
She
I
loves
can't live
coffee.
without coffee. I love coffee.
But I think a lot of
especially
us like coffee.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
boxed with coffee.
Yeah.
Dude, if I don't have my coffee, dude, don't even talk to me.
right? Don't talk to me in the morning, dude. My
Even talk
coworkers
to me
knew. Yeah.
until I have my fucking coffee. And even then, let me wait till my second one. Wait till my second one. Then we'll
Just watch
see.
my performance at the second one.
We'll
Yeah.
see how we're feeling at the second
Dude,
one.
when it kicks in, I'm like, woo, there's no stopping me. I'm like, all right, I'm ready. Let's do this. Yeah.
So what is like? Would you say you're like? This is what you're here to help people with.
Yeah. So if
Give us
you-
an experience. I mean, like a client. How many clients have reached out to you in a way where you're like, you know what, this is what people need help in. Mostly, what are you kind of focused mostly on helping people?
So I've done some like interview preparation, but I'd say the number one thing so far is the resume review. I'm currently working on someone actually. I do sessions, but I will say like, if there's something else out there, let's connect, let's talk and see. So yeah, but there's one that I'm gonna probably just write from scratch. But that's really the thing because that's basically like your way in, right? Like if your resume also, actually, let me back up a little bit because I don't know if y'all know something, but it's called it's called ATS, and why can't I think it's application tracking system, which basically means not even a human is looking at your resume nowadays.
Oh, I've heard that.
Yeah.
You gotta use specific terms. You gotta use specific phrases so that your resume brings, and then it shows
Yeah,
up for
so
them.
that it scores at a certain level, so then hopefully then it'll make it to a human.
It's like a trading bot.
Yeah, it's a type of bot. It's a type
Right?
of artificial
It's
intelligence
Yeah.
that receives and analyzes all the resumes
Correct,
coming
yeah.
in, and then it weaves out all the whack ass ones. Like, yo, get out of here, and then it brings to the front
Yeah.
certain terms. Right?
Yes, yeah. So basically, they're looking for the keywords like when it matches with the job description, right? Like how much, what do you bring into the table that fits with this job description? So that's really what the most recent clients of mine that I've worked with them. One girl, she already had it, but she really wasn't getting interviews. And so, yeah, I just walked her through it. I created a framework for her and we had the session and I showed her like, okay, this as regarding your professional summary, your skill set, your work experience. Okay, make sure to highlight this, make sure, what are the results associated with it, right? Regarding your work experience. So far, that's probably been the number one thing right
And
now.
by framework, you mean like a game plan, right? Like,
Yeah, yes,
come
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like setting up like, okay, this is, here you go, like for the resume, so we can get it started.
this season, I have actually noticed, at least around the people that are in my social media circle, more and more people are starting their own business. Have you guys noticed that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
definitely.
noticed that?
Oh yeah. Oh
Everybody's
yeah.
doing it.
Yes.
That is beautiful.
That's an
beautiful.
Yes.
entrepreneur mindset right there.
Yeah.
You have to
Yes.
have that,
Yeah.
because
But it's
things are
hard
changing.
work.
Well, it is hard work. It's total dedication. It takes up all your time, your energy.
Yeah.
So you gotta prepare yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta do everything you gotta build up a schedule, follow it, discipline yourself, and make sure that each and every day you're waking up and you're motivated. Because motivation
Yeah.
thrives through anything. If you're motivated every day, you know what you're gonna be doing every day. You have a certain schedule and you follow it, and you're motivated. I mean, what can stop you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
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 And I think, like you said, a lot of people are starting up their businesses, and I'm so happy to know that, because they're doing whatever they want. They're selling whatever they want.
Yeah.
They're doing their own hobbies, like
Yeah.
us right now.
Yeah.
We're doing, this is a fantastic hobby, to talking to people like you,
Yeah.
hanging out with Manny. This is extremely a good hobby, and we're seeing it a lot more, and it's gonna change the world.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of people are going to be, I know it's the first stages of it, and our people are trying to adapt to it. And that's why you have a lot of anxiety and depression in it, because it's just the
Yeah,
first
absolutely.
stage. But once it starts developing and people tend to know the kind of the rules, or how to manage
Right.
their schedule, it's going to be flying off the roof. Everybody's going to want to be doing that.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be doing it. We're going to bring so much more to the table as a society. We're going to be helping each other more. And I think it's a progressive project that God is putting in the world.
Yeah.
Literally.
But I think what you said maybe, or touched on maybe, but like sometimes you are gonna have self-doubt. Like that does come in, and exactly when you're starting out, it might take a while to have your first customer or client. Like I went through that, and I remember talking to my friend though, who's also an entrepreneur, and she said, hey, it's gonna, it does take some time, but no, like you got this. I see it. You have potential, and that's why it's really important to surround yourself with other entrepreneurs as well. Yeah.
It's a group of people that you hang out with that are either, you don't want to be hanging out with somebody that's lazy. You want to be hanging out with people that has new ideas, projects,
Yeah.
that's excited for the next day, is excited to wake up and say, you know what, today I'm going to do this, tomorrow I'm going to do that. It's like
Yeah.
setting themselves up for success.
And it's a friendly challenge.
Yeah.
You know? It's a like,
Yeah.
oh, you're doing that? Oh,
Yeah.
let
It
me
is.
try. Let me
And,
try to do
and,
it.
and you're motivating each other through like social media. Oh, look, my friend is doing this. I want to do that too. I'm happy for that person. It's a challenge. It's so therapeutical. Like the therapy in social media right now, I think it's changing, because you're seeing a lot of motivational videos now. People are being more motivated by who they follow. Good things are happening.
I mean, and it's all fun and games. Good things are happening. Everybody's starting their business, but there's still people out here that need jobs. They need to get paid. They need to pay their bills, right?
Yeah.
So
So
I wanted
Nancy?
to ask you this.
Okay,
Because,
yeah.
all right, so I just told you off air that I just got offered for a new job. I went in, I took it, whatever. But when I went in, a guy was in the process of doing his interview for the position that
okay.
he had already offered me, but the guy wanted to kind of have just like backup In case I said
Oh,
no, he
right.
wanted to have someone else.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
okay, he said no, so I'm taking this guy. But I walk in, they're sitting at a table. Um, this guy, it's an office job, right? But this guy, he's sitting there, suited up with a tie and a jacket, the suit pants and the dressy shoes. And I mean, I know people always say you gotta dress up for your interview, look nice for your interview,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I get it. You gotta look
Presentable.
You gotta look
Correct.
presentable.
Correct. Yes.
But is there such a thing as overdoing it? Because when he left, the owner started saying like, "Yo, I'm not hiring James Bond." He was like, "Yo, I
James
felt
Bond?
like that was James Bond." The way he was talking, it was so formal.
Okay.
The way he was dressed, it was so like, this isn't. You're not applying to be a CEO, bro. Like this
Right.
is not Wall Street. You don't need to be suited up the whole time. I know it is an office job, but there. I mean, there's.
Yeah, so I would say the culture. What is the company culture? Because every company
Oh,
has a different
yeah.
culture.
Yeah.
So that's when you should, take the time, read up on the company. So I remember, so I recently interviewed for a footwear apparel, and I remember when they give you and by the way, guys, a lot of these companies give tips on interviewing. So just like if you're interviewing, check out their LinkedIn page because they will give you
Oh,
some
really?
tips. Yeah.
Yeah? Oh,
Yes.
what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah. So this footwear apparel company actually mentioned like, you could be kind of casual business, whatever you do, but do not wear the competitor's clothing to the
Oh.
interview.
You go do an Adidas interview on Nike'd out with the
Yeah,
hat.
yeah,
You go
probably
to
not
Adidas,
gonna.
you go to Adidas and you show up with
Yeah,
Nike
bro.
gear.
Let me tell you right now, you're not gonna get it.
Yeah.
You didn't get that one.
So what is the culture? Yeah, the company's culture, right?
Oh.
Read up on them, and yeah. And I'd also say though, bring out a little bit of your personality too, though. If there's a
Because
certain
that could
color
come
you
off
like
as
to,
fake,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
It could come off like
Definitely.
this is
Yeah.
you're just wearing a costume right now.
yeah.
Like it's not you.
It's not
Yeah,
Yeah.
like be presentable, but then whatever your little flair or style might be. I know because I started doing that too. Like towards the last few years, like I'd wear like a regular T-shirt, but then dress it up a little bit with a skirt, and like my shirts would say stuff. I don't know. You gotta have fun with it too.
Because you could be presentable and like kind of business casual, but
But I
still
think
throw
nowadays
your swag on it.
it's more acceptable to just show up on an interview pretty decent, not overdoing it.
I mean, as long as you're not looking raggedy with like ripped
No, definitely. You're not
clothes.
showing up with sweatpants or your gym.
Like this just woke up.
Yeah,
like,
or your gym gear. You're gonna be like,
Yeah.
yo, are
You
you ready to
pull up
work out or
after
are you
a
ready to get
workout?
interviewed?
like,
Yeah.
oh, I ran
Yeah.
over here, guys.
Definitely, I ran over here. No,
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I've seen it a lot more. People are more casual when it comes down to interviews.
And sometimes the company will.
That's what
even
you were
tell
saying. Like, that's what he was saying. When that guy he overdid it.
Overdid it.
Probably like, what, like 15, 10 years max. You had to show up
Like that.
dressed
Yeah.
up
That's true.
in a way where you're like, yo, this guy is gonna want the job no matter what it takes.
That's true. Just because
Yeah.
he
'Cause
pulled
he's
up
dressed
in a
up.
suit and tie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually gonna do a video on that, like how it's kind of changed even from 9 years ago, to that to now, because I've seen it like evolve,
Yeah.
like
Well,
yeah,
everything's evolving so
Yeah.
pretty fast.
Yeah.
Even from interviews to the way people are working now. So
Have you heard of the Great Reset?
the Great Reset? No, is that a?
That's for our next
that is
episode, guys. That's
yeah,
for our
that
next
is for the next
episode.
episode.
That's for our
So
next episode.
Episode 6 is gonna
We're
be
gonna talk
pretty
about
good.
that one next.
Can't give any clues.
It's a conspiracy. That's why. That's a conspiracy. The
alright,
Great
Bring it
Reset,
up.
and it kind of
Okay.
explains how everything's changing so fucking fast, so fast, so
Yeah.
crazy.
it's true.
And
just look at your
on that
phone.
note, have you helped people with Zoom interviews, or are they like always in person? Like,
No, actually, no. Yeah. So the one girl that I did help, it was over Zoom, and it was with a couple different people, and so we kind of did a mock interview. Like I was guiding her, and we did a mock interview. And so like the only thing that I had told her, because I thought she was looking at her screen or like looking at her notes, and I was like, no, you need to make sure, right? Like keep your eye at eye level and make eye contact. And she's like, oh, I'm not. I was like, oh, okay. Then I think she was just kind of maybe nervous. I was like, just practice making sure like looking directly ahead. Sometimes you can even like, bring your hands up a little, just like showing that you're engaged.
what I've noticed is the same reaction certain people get to meeting new people. You know, there's that feeling of anxiety. There's that feeling of nervousness.
Yeah.
That I've never met this person before, and I'm going in an interview and they're gonna judge me face to face. Is there's a different side of of that category of people, and it's the ones that feel weird sitting in front of a camera. It's almost the same type of feeling.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you've never sat and stared at a camera before.
Literally.
You know?
Yeah.
And if you do, it's just like for a couple of minutes, not fucking 30
Sending a
minutes.
Snapchat or a TikTok or something.
Exactly.
You know, it's not professional.
Yeah, or an Instagram post. So yeah, you guys don't forget to follow us on Instagram at M-Rated Podcast.
Good segue, dog. Damn.
Yeah, we had to slip that one in, bro.
That was true. Damn.
I
got
hope
me
that's
choking
not a
up.
COVID laugh.
Oh, no, son.
Okay.
No, they got too serious.
Yeah, I get real bad too.
I got too real. But would you say there's a difference from like an in-person interview to a Zoom interview?
Oh, yes.
And what would be like those key differences?
Because in person, I think you can read more body language, right?
Yeah,
From how is the
yeah.
person sitting, where their eyes are going. You can kind of see it in the Zoom. Once again, like I said, if they're talking with their hands, but if their hands aren't going up, as you know, if they're down here, maybe the person doesn't know, or maybe the person wouldn't know that they're nervous, right? But if you can see like the person, because the person interviewing, it's not like they're not. I also used to interview people on my old company, by the way, like some interns. So it's not like their intention of trying to make you nervous. And so if they can see that in person, or maybe the question, you know, they didn't understand it, they can see that, I think, better in person over Zoom. But yeah, so I'd say that would be the benefits. But then again, there's not the whole like commuting, finding a parking spot, making sure you're not late, or you know whatnot, because you just turn it on, you hit.
Yeah. That's why I'm
Enter
laughing
meeting.
because from this whole time I've been working at home, I have to be clocked in at 7, right?
Yeah.
My alarm goes off at 6:59.
6:59.
I roll over,
How do you get it? How do you
hit
get
that.
everything together in a minute?
Hit that, and I'm in,
Make
son.
sure it's
roll
green.
and
Make
I'm
sure it's
li-
green.
and I'm clocked in,
rollover.
and I'm clocked in. So I mean, I really like that.
No, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I think everything has its pros and its cons.
What would you say was your worst interview ever?
I haven't had many.
Like you
interviews,
walked out of
but
there and you were like, I didn't get that one.
I think not showing up.
Yeah,
Not
okay.
showing up was funny though. The worst one, I just didn't show up. That was it. That's probably it. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
not showing up.
What's the worst when you've experienced, whether it be you or someone else?
Yeah, I would say the one where they told me at the end of the interview, not in the exact words, but I basically didn't get the job. They're like, oh, so we'll be having another opening. We should be having another opening in a couple months. And I don't know, like, I was like, wow, like, you can't even wait to tell me. Like, I will never forget it. Like, I was just like, wow, okay.
You can
I
email
guess.
me that. You have to tell me
I was
that.
like,
Send me that link.
I was like, dude, that's when you would dress all up, right? I was like, I straightened my hair, like I did all this, and like, wow, and I reviewed, and but you know what? Everything happens for a reason.
That's true.
It all worked out. So the role that I did end up getting, there was one actually in a couple months. It actually prepared me for like my role after that. So everything falls in place eventually. So yeah, it prepared me for then becoming a manager, a sales development manager, going from a business analyst to that. So everything does happen for a reason. We might not know it in that moment, in a week or a month or whatnot, but eventually it'll click and you'll be like, oh yeah,
That's why
that's
that
why.
happened.
Yeah.
It all takes time. You know?
Yeah.
It all takes time, and then sometimes you wake up and you realize it. I was like, yo, like this happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
But going back to Visionary Catalyst, how are you expanding your business? I mean, I know now we have social media, so what kind of networking are you doing?
Yeah.
Other than like, those Zoom meetings or,
Yeah, so I did start a LinkedIn business page. So that's kind of taken off because then I can literally just drop that link in some of the other communities that I'm a part of, and they just literally follow. I'm a part of a lot of groups that are helping other women, right, to start their own business or support one another in whatever way. So getting the word out through them. I did a networking event this past week where I booked, I'll be doing an interview next month for a local channel here in LA.
Oh.
So yeah, like I never thought, right? I was just like, oh, I'm gonna go to this workshop and learn something and just engage with others, and then boom. So you just kind of have to like put yourself out there. Like I said, once that shift happened with me, I knew that I was ready to go out there again, to network, to tell people about my business. So yeah, and I'll probably do a few more YouTube videos, and then I created a link tree to kind of link everything in my Instagram. So it's like a one stop, whatever you wanna find. But really, just yeah, finding groups, where you support one another, you uplift one another, and
It's very
yeah.
important.
Yeah, that is.
I think the helping one another, especially like startup businesses,
Yeah.
startup projects. If you, like you said, getting along or socializing with different entrepreneurs that are, starting up just from scratch.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't beat that because you get the feedback, what you're doing wrong, what you're not doing wrong. You get that motivation.
Or they put you in contact with
Yeah,
somebody
exactly.
else,
Yeah.
leads to collaborations, or yeah, they'll give you feedback, exactly. Or you see what they're doing too, like, oh, okay, maybe I should try that,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all supposed to be all supportive, and it's a
Yeah.
good thing.
So
Yeah.
so when someone becomes an entrepreneur, like you have to know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like you have to know what your niche is. Like this is what I'm gonna specialize in. This is what my business is gonna be about. Because I know there's people that they need work, but they don't know what type of work to go into. They don't know where to go apply. They don't know who to talk to or how to fill out their
Sure.
resume. Can you fill in all those blanks, or does someone have to come with you? Like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to work.
Yeah. So, if you can come with your resume, like I've seen all types of resumes, even from different industries, from more like entry level to mid level management. The one that I'm working on most is for an executive. So like all
Everybody
types.
needs
Yeah.
help. Is what you say. So if you think you don't need help, you need help.
That part.
Okay, so yeah, so that's why I'm saying like we'll jump on a call, right, to see where you're at, and to make sure it's a good fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, am I right for you? And this is what I can do for you, or maybe you have something else in mind, and that's not maybe what I specialize in, but I can put you in touch with somebody else. So I will make sure like, okay, is this the right fit? But yeah, it could be something that you already have, or like I said with this executive, I was like, okay, well, here you go. I developed a framework, and I kind of told him like, this is what I need, to write it. So it could be from scratch. You tell me kind of where do you want to go? What are you looking for? Are you looking to stay in your industry? The other girl I helped, even though most of her background has been more in like retail and sales, she graduated from supply chain, and so it's like, okay, well, let's, adjust the wording here, right? Let's focus on this aspect of it and whatnot. So, I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Especially in 2020. I mean,
Yeah, you got to do a lot of networking for
Yeah.
sure nowadays. To get
Yeah.
in contact with different people, or if you, like you say, you want to, shift your career into a totally different field, you got to get in contact with that, specific person or specific group. You can't be socializing, or I mean, you could, but you can't be always with that other social group that is not gonna, be performing.
Yeah, going outside of your comfort zone.
Correct.
so
basically.
I mean,
Comfort zone.
damn, that's a perfect question because I don't know how to network. Like, how to like.
What do you
What,
know how to
like-
network?
No,
I know how to
no.
socialize. I
There's
know how
a
to
lot of people
socialize.
that don't know, or they don't like it. Like
Okay.
they really, yeah. So go
Like,
ahead.
I know how to socialize. I could go talk to you. Like, what's good?
Yeah.
What's good with you guys?
Right.
But
right.
what classifies it? Like, this is networking. We're networking right now.
It basically is socializing, but then also like finding that connection, and is there something like, how do you connect with that person, and or if you're looking to go into a specific field, or maybe you just like the way this person carries themselves in meetings or
You
in
catch up on that.
presentations.
You pick it up.
Yeah, so you want to, so you might ask them like, hey, do you think you could maybe mentor me, or do you think that, I'm working on a project, do you think you could look at it, give me some feedback? It could be like, oh, can we have a coffee chat? Especially now, those coffee chats are super popular right now over like Zoom.
Okay.
So you
What?
yeah, oh yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
So I'm having coffee and then the other person.
Yeah, and you just, whatever questions you may have, or just like want to catch up, and that's just kind of how it starts. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get at it, and before you know it, you'll be doing it without even realizing it. Yeah.
Can you coach people in that as well? Like, can you?
Yeah,
help people with
most
their networking?
definitely. Yeah, because listen, let me tell you, I'm always networking. Yeah, like that's
networking.
yeah, because I feel like we can all learn from everybody, right? Like
Oh my God, yeah.
we're not all great at everything. You know what I mean? We all specialize in something. And so you can always learn from others. Like I said, put you in contact with other people and just go from there, Yeah. So definitely.
Yeah, that's something I gotta work.
You gotta work on.
I don't
Well,
know how
dude,
that
I mean,
works
you learn something
Yeah.
about yourself right now,
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
which is great.
And
you know.
coffee
I need to
chats.
work
Now
on
he
it.
knows
Okay,
about Zoom coffee
so,
chats.
so you got to work on that for
Yeah,
sure. Starting
networking.
tomorrow, no more. Was it 6:59 rollover? No, you 6 and
Marco's just
6
jealous.
o'clock.
He's just jealous.
6
Yeah.
o'clock.
He's
I'm
just
jealous?
jealous.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
You wish you could roll over. Clock in, bitch.
Hey, I'm rolling over right now, so yeah. I don't. Yeah, it's kind of hard to adapt to it. So, you know,
So where can people find you? Like, where can they hit you up? Like,
Oh yeah.
easiest way to just. I want Natalia's help. I want Natalia to just guide me, coach me. What's the easiest way to reach you?
Yeah, my website is visionary-catalyst.com, and there's a contact form at the bottom. You just fill it out and boom, it comes directly to me. Or if you're on Instagram, I also linked it in my link tree. The contact form is there. So, and all the links to anything else I'm doing is all there.
So
as well.
LinkedIn, YouTube, your
Instagram,
personal page, Instagram. So if you guys didn't catch that, we're gonna provide all that info in
Yeah.
the description box, so you can just link, and get in contact with Natalia. 'Cause
network.
networking. What it is, That's it. Yeah.
Yes.
If you want to take your, I'm not gonna say lazy ass, but I guess I could. Right?
I mean,
Yeah, to the next level, or you don't know what the heck you're gonna be doing with yourself in the next few months or next few weeks. I mean, this is a good start.
Yeah.
Hitting Natalia up, and she's gonna guide you, and you might find something about yourself. You'll be like, yo, I should do this.
That's
Right?
if you're curious, you're curious to develop.
You do a
yourself.
consultation, like a 10-15 minute consultation?
The 15-minute consultation.
Okay.
That's where we'll talk about what is it that you're trying to accomplish here, how we can approach it together, and then you see, is it the right fit? Yeah, and let's go with it, and if not, it's cool, it's all good.
is
But
there
you
a
won't know.
season or a time of the year where people hire more? Is that something?
So yes, okay, well,
Yeah? Did I?
okay, well, I don't know
Did I
the
miss
prime
something?
time. However, towards the end of the year, maybe not the highest time, although I'm currently interviewing. I literally had an interview this morning. So, towards the end of the year, maybe not as much because it's the holidays, and then companies are closing their books because the new budget kind of kicks in 2021. But I mean, every company is different. I've had a friend that does land a job or landed a job in December, but typically that's when it may go a little bit lower. Yeah.
To the end of the year.
Yeah. Towards the end of the year. Yeah.
There is a little curiosity here that I want to ask. I think you have a lot of astrology books here.
Yeah.
Who? I mean,
All this
outside of
was her.
Visionary Catalyst, outside of a entrepreneur and your whole career, who is Natalia? Is there
Yeah.
a very high interest in astrology? I see.
Oh.
Right?
Super high. Okay.
I think earlier she said you had like 5 moons.
I caught up to
Dang,
it.
I don't even
like,
have one. man.
right now. This past
Low-key.
minute, I started
I
seeing.
think
the book.
Earth has one, yo. Like,
Earth, yeah. I didn't catch up on that. But yeah, I mean, I started seeing
Yeah.
you're always, catching up on the astrology news.
Yeah.
You personally recommended me a lot of astrology apps, books, and stuff like that. I mean, so
Yeah.
tell us how did that change your perspective about life when you got into astrology?
Sure, but first off, I'm gonna let you all know I'm a Pisces sun, a Leo moon with a Scorpio rising. For all my
Wow.
astro people out there, you all know what I'm talking
That
about.
sounds like Illuminati, like she sent out.
Dude, I had no idea what she said, but it's kind of like strapping yourself with different gear, right? You're like,
so now explain.
Okay, so yeah, explain to us what
What is
astrology has bring.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Natalia.
I got into it probably about 10 years ago. Just back then I only knew about the sun. So the sun is mostly what most people know as their zodiac sign. That's mostly, but I feel like right now a lot of people, because I feel a lot of people in our generation they're really into it as well. But back then I had just started reading up, and it helped me a lot to understand myself, like how I'm kind of wired, why I react the way I do at times to certain situations, and whatnot. And then later, also how I engage with others, and whatnot. But the last few years, I've really gotten into it. I probably have like about 10 astrology books. Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm a
You
huge
guys want to
fan.
hear a funny fact?
A ver.
Love
So for the past week, Natalia has been asking me to ask Manny, ask him what his sign is. I need to know what his sign is. It's a funny fact. It's a funny
It
fact.
is true. It's
Right?
true. Okay,
That's
that is
how-
one of
that-
the.
Why?
That
Because
is
that's
actually.
that's how deep of in astrology she's in. You know,
I like to
everybody.
analyze people.
Yeah, it's kind of like she networks, so she needs to know who she's networking
Okay.
with. Is that what it is?
Okay, hold up. No,
Dang.
No?
tampoco.
Okay.
Okay, when I'm networking, I'm not like, oh, by
It's
the
like
way,
police
when's your
officer.
when's your birthday?
Yeah,
Like,
you're cool and all, but like, what the
no,
fuck is
no,
this?
No, it was a funny fact. So
But
yeah,
but
yeah,
I did okay, yeah. So when I'm out networking, I'm not always asking people their birthdays. At least not right away.
at
It
least not right
depends.
away.
It depends. I gotta feel the vibe. I'm
Right,
like,
that
all right, when's the
part.
right time? When's the right time? Yes, that is true though. I was
So
asking my
so
birthday.
getting into astrology has
Yeah.
developed you in a different way of being. Has it influenced the way you are now, like, opening up your business? Do you put astrology with your business together? Does it make a match?
So I've incorporated a bit. So I did run a Virgo promo back when we were in Virgo season, which was, I believe, August 22nd
That's
through
smart.
September 21st, because Virgos are of service, right? And so given that I'm in service, so I did run a promo and actually it did get people's attention. Yeah. But because I like to be really intentional with what I do. And yeah, I do like astrology. So there's ways that I kind of incorporated into my business. That's who I am. That's a part of me. That's something that I'm really interested in and I like learning about. So yeah, I incorporate it here and there. But yeah, it has helped me. I feel like some parts of me have come out more now than when I was younger. So like my Leo moon, I think I'm more confident now when I speak, when I present. Now that I know that I'm kind of like a Scorpio rising, I guess sometimes some people say that when they see me, maybe they're intimidated, but like I didn't understand why. Maybe because I guess my Scorpio rising.
What is?
Look
Okay,
at
let me-
that. He's pretty lost, dude.
Yo,
You gotta
I'm
get into
throwing in
astrology.
the flag on this one, yo. What? Like you keep talking about moons. Like I thought there was one moon, yo. Like where are all these moons coming
So,
from?
yes, that is.
What is it? Moons?
Jupiter does have many moons, though. Just to
Yeah,
let you know.
true. Is that where they're coming from?
Oh, you're talking about Earth moons?
What do you mean by moons? Like,
So
what do you mean?
yeah, there is one moon, but the moon actually shifts signs about every 2 to 2.5 days. So
Oh.
so you know how we have our sun sign, because the sun stays in one sign for approximately 30 days.
Okay.
That's what makes me.
That's
a
the monthly,
Pisces.
that's the
Yes,
month-
correct.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
but the moon. Okay, so the sun is kind of like your overall personality, who you are at the core, and then the moon is kind of tied to your emotions, and then the rising or the ascendant, also known as the ascendant, is like how you're perceived to the outside world. Yeah, just to kind of give you some background. But yeah, so the moon shifts every 2.5 days, and the ascendant, I don't remember exactly how that's determined. But that's why that's why you see on Instagram all those memes like ask for your birth time, ask your mom what time,
Oh yeah,
because the
I've seen
moon
those.
shifts.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
it could be like, well, are you a Taurus moon or a Gemini moon? Like, we need to know.
And that's very accurate when it comes down to people's behavior, right? It's
I'd
I
say,
found it to
yeah.
be very accurate when especially analyzing my own sign and then putting all the moons together. I tend to connect with what I'm reading, what I'm informing myself about that, that the whole chart, because there's charts,
Yeah.
there's
that's true. There is a chart. No,
yeah,
what
there's
is
a
that
total
chart called?
chart.
No. The one
No.
with the.
Oh no, isn't that the human design? Oh, you want to go into human
I've
design?
looked into that. I've looked into that.
Yeah, that I don't
The
know as much
charts?
about.
But
I
you
do
need
know
to
that
know your
I do know
time.
that I'm a manifester though.
Okay. Yeah, I think I was too.
Yeah.
I think I was too.
Ooh, you know that there's only like 10%
Yeah.
manifester.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, there's a manifester.
And it was like Obama's one of these, and I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I knew we had a connection.
Yes.
Shout out to Obama too.
Shout out Obama. Hit us up.
Yeah, actually, I've been really okay. So human design has also helped me as well. I'm still learning about that. That I don't know as much about as like I do astrology, which I even still have more to learn about. But yeah, I remember when the lady told me, yeah, you're a manifester. Like, she's like, how people say that they manifest, like, you're a real manifest, like for real. And I was like, whoa. So then I was like, oh, well, if I start this business, and then it'll happen and take off and whatnot. But yeah. And then it breaks it down even by your number. So like I'm a 5-1 and emotional authority. And there's different gates and there's all kinds of stuff.
Have you looked at your chart?
I have.
Your chart? You
yeah,
looked at your chart?
yeah.
What are you?
Shit, I'm everywhere right now, dude.
No.
I'm pretty
Piece of shit.
earthly. That part.
You're talking about the birth chart, right?
Yeah.
For
So I'm
astrology.
just, I'm
Yeah.
pretty just.
Okay. What were we talking about?
We were talking about human design.
The human.
I
have you
think,
looked
No,
at
but
I haven't
human
not
design,
looked
I
at
think,
that.
does have astrology in it as well. But the birth chart
I'll
is
probably
where.
be just basic.
Basic
Like,
ass
just be
bitch.
like basic as a
Oh,
fuck.
you just like
Nah.
another
But I mean,
person.
that's a fantastic hobby to have. It's getting yourself into reading up and informing yourself about astrology.
And then like how do you work on yourself? How do you like develop yourself and improve? Because we all have areas of opportunity and whatnot. And so once I started realizing some things, then I acknowledged it, and I would catch myself and I'd be like, hold on, like, wait a minute. All right, let me think about this for a second, or what is it that I really want and whatnot. And yeah, it definitely helps to know yourself better, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah. And other than your astrology hobby and your obsession with astrology, what else would you say you are fascinated by?
Languages.
How many
Yes,
languages do you
and
know?
cultures. Okay.
Languages
I am,
and
like,
cultures?
Yes. So,
Like Egyptian culture, Sumerian culture?
Yes.
Don't get Mark started.
Don't get me started. That's
Saudi.
Didn't we just say this next episode?
This is
This
dude.
next-
There's so much.
There's so
that I
much,
want to
man.
jump into. But did you guys see the FBI released official documents? That
Okay,
say
stop.
about
Manny,
manifestation.
Manny, stop.
Manifestation.
Manny, stop.
I
So
do.
we'll go back to
We're gonna revisit
we are.
this.
We are. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
languages, right?
Languages. So yeah, I do a lot of language exchange. Y'all, that's another way to kind of get a social aspect. I do a couple online on Mondays and Wednesdays. I do one internationally with people from around the world.
Oh.
Yeah, there's like 120 people on the Zoom, but they put us in breakout rooms, online language exchange, and then they rotate you. So you can pick your language. They usually have like 9 or 10. I do English and Spanish, but they rotate you, and you do 10 minutes English, 10 minutes in Spanish, and you basically are there to help one another out. So I do that, and then I do another one on Mondays that was part of an LA meetup that we used to meet in downtown LA, but now we've taken it online. And then the lady who ran it, now she's in Mexico, but she's able to connect, and other people that are in other parts. And then I do an Arabic meetup as well. I've been trying to learn Arabic for like 9 years.
What exactly is the language exchange?
Language exchange. It just means basically like you're exchanging and both languages. So you'll speak in English, and then maybe
Somebody else in a different language.
yeah, in Spanish or Arabic or French. So you're exchanging. You're exchanging the language and the cultures too.
So you will talk whatever language you want, and then they talk another language.
So first you'll do one language, and then you switch to the other language.
Oh, so you'll say something, and then
Yeah.
you say another.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah,
man.
no, like the 10 minutes will maybe pure English.
Okay.
And then you switch it to 10 minutes
Oh.
of Spanish or whatever other language you want.
When
Yeah.
you said culture, what kind of culture? What's your background on your culture?
Yeah, so I'm Latina. I'm half Peruvian, half
Peruvian.
Mexican. Yeah, the Incas.
The Inca. Hey, have you had some pollo Inca?
Oh, who put you on that? Who
Somebody,
put you on that?
somebody recommended me pollo Inca. I don't know, but I gotta have me another plate. Anyway, so
Lomo
Peruvian, lomo saltado, correct.
Shout out to todos los peruanos.
Shout out to Peruvian. Peruvians are beautiful
Yeah.
people, man. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. It's just beautiful. Anyways,
Machu Picchu.
Have you
Machu
been?
Picchu.
Yeah, I've
been?
gone a couple times. Was it 2 or 3 times? The first time I was like 5 years old. Yeah, I went to meet my great grandmother for the first time, and then I want to say the last time was maybe 7, 8 years ago.
Oh, not that long ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But that's the time that I actually got to go to Machu Picchu. I got to go to all 3 parts. So the coast, La Selva, which is where my family's from. They're from the jungle, from Bucalpa, and then to, oh gosh, why can't I think of it? To the mountains. Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But then also half Mexican. So my dad's Mexican.
What part of Mexico?
Jalisco. From Unión de Tula, que queda 3 horas del sur de
So
Guadalajara.
God damn it!
Have you been there?
I told
been
y'all
there?
I like languages. I might just switch it
Languages,
up.
culture.
Coding, HTML. What do you want to do?
What?
Have you been? Have
Impressive.
Huh?
Have you been to?
Yeah, I've been to. Okay, check this out, y'all. At one point, I had been to more states in Mexico than the U.S.
Oh,
I had been to
snap.
9 states in Mexico. Yeah, my dad, he would try to take me like almost every year to go to a different part to see the different cultures
Yeah.
and stuff, because it does vary, even the food and stuff. Yeah.
I got a
so-
question about that.
All right.
Who has better food, Mexico or Peru?
Nah.
Damn.
Okay. Nah. Don't even know.
It's just a little
Versus.
question, dude.
No. But I will tell you one thing. Y'all ready? Are you both Mexican?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Of course.
Okay. Peru definitely has better ceviche, though.
Oh.
What? I
So
never
this
had
is where
Peru.
this podcast ends.
Listen, Mexican ceviche is good, but Peruvian ceviche.
Peruvian ceviche. Where the fuck can you even get that?
Dude, there's 3 places in Glendale. There's Mamitas, there's Natalie's, and I forget what the other place. Also, there's Miski in West Covina.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
this place is out here.
yeah.
So it has to be in a Peruvian restaurant, and they just have
Yeah.
ceviche, or
Yeah,
does
yeah,
it
yeah,
specifically say Peruvian?
No. So, but there also like if you just want the shrimp one, or I don't know what they call the one that has all of it, but I like the one that has octopus, fish, shrimp.
love all that.
But what makes it is como el jugo de tigre. That's like what gives it. And yeah,
Jugo de
I'm
tigre?
telling you, yeah,
Wow.
that's
From the
that's
Tiger King?
yeah.
That's-
Oh, Tiger King. He's a Pisces. I was like, oh.
No, but that's interesting because
No, that is.
that's
I never even heard of Peruvian ceviche. I never heard.
and
of
and I strongly
Dude.
believe the
And I-
way you like actually grow in life is to experience other cultures and meet other
Yes.
people. So you've had that opportunity to meet all these people. And then from
Yeah.
everything you're telling us, from what your interests are started to what you're trying to do with your business, to what you've done in your background and your experience, it seems like you have a fascination for learning about people.
I do. Yes, you hit the nail on the head.
Correct.
I really, really do. It fascinates me. Like, you could learn so much. Yeah, from others for
And
sure.
is that at the core of why you're starting this business?
Yeah. I like engaging with others and supporting them and just guiding them with whatever it is that they need help with. And because for me, it's really fulfilling and it energizes me. Like when I get off the call with somebody and after we had the mock interviews or we redid their resume, it just like it does it for me. Like I'm just like, wow, like yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, from everything, just your experience and everything is like you like helping people.
Yeah.
You really, really, really do like. I mean, it sounds like that's what you want to do.
Yeah. That's why, I was like, I'm going to do a service-based business because I don't know. I like talking with others and sharing my own experiences. And, like I said, you always learn from others and just also like exchanging ideas and whatnot. Yeah.
And like you said earlier, there's always something you could learn from someone.
Yes.
Everyone out there has something you could learn.
Most definitely.
Everyone you talk to, you could learn something.
Yes. There's, oh my gosh, like, I mean, that's why I think I like networking. That's why I like being in groups, involved with others, because I like learning from others and exchanging ideas, collaborating, gathering together, all of that. Yeah.
So how like have you helped a lot of people so far? Like, have you been able?
Specifically, since I started the business, not as much yet, but even before I did, I mean, okay, so I didn't say this in my background, but I was already kind of doing this as like my hobby. So I used to help my colleagues and my coworkers
That's
and
how it
friends.
all starts, though. Hobbies.
Yeah. By the way, if you're not sure what to do, like, think about what people know you for. What are you known for? What are you known for?
You see, that's what I mean. Like, a lot of people don't know. Like, yes, I need a job. Yes, I need a paycheck. But what am I gonna do?
Yeah, like, well, what do you like? What's your skill set? What are you known for? Like we could do a whole assessment.
Yeah, like you started realizing how much you like helping people.
Yes,
And
exactly.
that was your start off. It was just like, what I like doing, helping people. And what did you do?
And
Start a business.
Yeah, and what am I known for? What am I good at? So I remember because people would be like, oh, like a friend of a friend would hit me up and they'd be like, oh, so-and-so told me to reach out to you for my resume and this because you're really good at it, or because you work in that business, corporate world and business life. And so I'd be like, oh, okay, like, yeah, let's do it. Or sometimes maybe people were nervous for the interview or they didn't feel confident enough. I'm like, no, like, you got this, like, let's highlight this, make sure that and whatnot. So yeah, that's how I started off. And that's kind of, once you figure out people are reaching out to you for certain things and you're kind of like, okay, yeah,
you start building up more potential to yourself. It starts to get you motivated and you start realizing like, whoa,
and
people are actually enjoying my service. It's a service that you're giving without you even like intentionally, reaching out to provide it. Like people are requesting you specifically. They're going to you and be like, yo, Natalia has those skills and I'm gonna go.
Yeah, they can people start gravitating
good,
towards you.
And like the Joker said, if you're good at something, don't do it for free.
Joker. So the Visionary Catalyst, where did that come from? Where did you get that
this is a while ago
idea of naming a Visionary Catalyst?
Yeah, I want to say, like, so my Instagram's been that name for maybe 3 years ago, before I even had the business or the business idea. Because I kind of wanted to keep that part of my life like separate from my more professional business life at that time. So, I didn't, if you type in Natalia or whatever, I didn't want people at work. So you catch me on drift? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So then I don't know. I was just like thinking. It was like midnight. I don't know. I probably won too many espresso shots or whatnot.
And they gave you that vision.
Yeah.
And you are a very visionary person. So it actually goes with not only what you provide, but you as a persona,
Yeah. So I developed it and I was like, dude, yeah, that's it. I am a visionary. Like, you take me somewhere and I'll just start getting ideas. Or if I look at something, then the ideas, the creativity starts coming. Like, I visualize whatever. Even if you're kind of speaking to me, I just start visualizing it in my head. Oh. Or even when I'm working on the resume, like, also, okay, what the format could look like, or this or that. And then Catalyst, because like, I feel like I'm a change agent. I'm here to spark that, change within you to kind of motivate you forward in your growth. So yeah, that's where it really stemmed from.
Nice. It's very unique.
Damn, yeah, that sounds like
it sounds so unique, like Visionary Catalyst. Like, can I add that to my vocabulary every day morning?
Is that your bio? Like, what?
I did have it on Word. Oh, you know what I did? Yeah, I'm giving all the secrets.
Are we good on time though?
Dude, we're an hour in already.
We're-
Oh,
in?
no.
Hour in.
We're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys want to stop it, or you want to give that last?
you wanna-
yeah,
anything
share
else?
that.
No,
last thing
that
you
was
wanna-
just
Share it.
so
No,
all I
it's-
so all I
okay.
would so before anybody even knew about my my Instagram, I would have in my LinkedIn bio visionary catalyst, who's known for da da da. So then if I don't know, like if people would have ever searched for that, then they would have found me. But yeah, that was just it.
You
But
stick
yeah.
to it, and
Yeah.
it opened up a lot of doors. You didn't have to struggle. What am I gonna name my business? It was just like, yo, Visionary Catalyst is who I am.
Yeah, and I know some people were like, oh, but people are not gonna know like it's a career service, and I kind of so I kind of understood that, but I'm hoping to also build out. So
It sounds
see-
very
we'll see what
careerish.
Well, I mean, when someone said, "Oh, this company's gonna be named Apple," they were not gonna. They weren't like,
that's
"Oh, it's
fucking
gonna be
Montana?
electronics. It's gonna be this." It's
No,
gonna be
Montana, dude. It's
They,
like
they were
yo.
like, "You're gonna start a farm."
Exactly.
Yeah, like it makes more
You
sense
know?
of a farming
Yeah.
company, or
Yeah.
but yeah, dude. Thank you, Natalia, for
thank
being
you.
here.
Yeah. being
no,
here.
this was
Oh man, I
fun.
learned so
That
much.
was very
I
interesting.
learned so much just
Yeah,
in
that was
this
really
hour.
interesting.
I hope that everybody out there learn too, and you guys are
Yeah.
motivated to just learn new skills, change your career. It just it thrives you to just be somebody new or start up just your own
Yes.
company. I mean, like we talked earlier, how everybody's just building up their own
Yeah.
own businesses. Like
Yes.
yeah, hopefully everybody that is watching, got that little spark. Be like, yo,
Yeah.
Natalia is helping people out. I could reach her, or even just the M-rated podcast guys. It's just
Yeah,
like,
look
yo,
at you all.
it's
Yes, we're out here building dreams.
we
y'all,
are all
okay?
helping each other, and that's
Yes.
what this is what it's all about. It's
Yeah.
just helping one another. I don't think there's a competition. If you can't help somebody, then I don't know what you're doing here. If you're not into self-development, or you're not trying to grow as a person, as a human being, as a neighbor, as a friend, like then
Yeah.
you might not be in the right channel. But
Yeah, and I mean, hopefully by now you guys have caught the trend. But we're all about positivity. We're
all
about
the damn time,
Yeah.
baby.
stay positive, be happy,
Yes.
whatever's gonna move you forward, and that's why we wanted to have you on, because I know you're gonna be able to help a lot of people, a lot of viewers that we have.
Yeah.
And if any of you are feeling unmotivated, if any of you guys want to change your career or whatever, hit her up.
Yeah.
She's gonna help you out any way she can. She just told you her whole life story is about helping people. She wants to help you. Yeah, you dog. She wants to help you. So hit her up. All the info is gonna be on the description. Yeah, anything you want to squeeze in?
I just want to also say that we're each all on our own journey and path. And I think what you guys really emphasized in that one episode about being happy is, don't compare yourself to others, right? Just compare to who you were yesterday.
Remember that, yeah.
And then this, and then
Don't
this,
compare yourself to compare yourself to who you were yesterday, and not to who someone else is today.
yeah. And that's really been in my mind, because I do catch myself doing it. And then I'm like, no,
And you watched
nope,
that in
nope.
our episode.
I did. I
You
did.
see, so that's what it is.
Yeah.
So we helped someone already.
Yeah,
She's helping
exactly.
us.
And remember, there's this quote I read that, don't compare yourself to others. The sun and the moon don't. Each one shines at its own time, right? Ooh.
Hey.
That's a nice one. That's a nice.
Did you have that effect
That's a nice
on
one.
the video? Just
Yeah,
like,
true.
Yeah,
We
nice.
need to. We need to
Anyways,
have that.
Natalia,
Yeah.
much appreciation, much love, and
you for
good luck.
Thank
We
you.
wish you nothing but success, and we hope we have you in another upcoming episode
Yeah.
and see the progress.
Yes.
And yeah, just stay positive, stay strong, motivated. We're here to help, and I hope you could help so many much more people.
Yes,
and
most definitely.
and just keep going forward. God
Bro.
first, baby.
And so all your social media is spelled like that.
yeah, and either there might be a hyphen. I think I've been working a lot on all the pages, so hopefully when you put it in Google, it should come up on the you'll see something on there. I'm on Google. Yep,
Okay.
I'm all over it.
So
yeah.
it's there. We're gonna put it
Yeah.
on the description. We're gonna link it, give all the information there. So just
Yeah.
hit her up.
Instagram, her personal email, right?
yeah.
Personal email, your business email, your LinkedIn.
Yeah,
everything is gonna
everything
be
will
in
be
the
linked.
description.
Yeah,
box,
yeah.
for
By the
real.
way, it's not that's the abbreviated version of Visionary Catalyst. It's spelled out fully, but he'll put it in the description.
Yeah,
yeah.
it'll be.
Yeah.
it'll be.
So
Alright.
other than that, everybody,
That was a good one.
just
Hey.
make sure you stay positive and thrive for anything. Be happy. Do something
Yeah.
positive the next day. And if you can't do it the next day, then do it. Follow it to the next day. But always have a better understanding about just being you and being helpful to others.
Yep.
Yes.
Other than that, I think we out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Stay positive, guys.
Stay positive.
Peace.